ride us around. I don't know if they intended to rape us or kill us or what. I really don't know. Anyway, it was still daylight, and we were in this town called Elkton.
Smack in the middle of a famous love zone. Elkton, Maryland, the quickie honeymoon and divorce capital of the Eastern Seaboard.
At one point, we went through a car wash. We sat in the car through the whole thing. We would have hopped out while the guys got out, but they were fucking with us already, and we started to get scared, and they knew we were scared, and then there was something that they were somehow getting off of.
Well, this is how I remember. I remember seeing the same toll taker, and I'm going, what the fuck? And then we realized the guys were trying to make us lost. And then one time we tried to pass a note to the toll booth, and it was me because the toll booth was on the driver's side, and I was behind the driver, and they caught us trying to slip a note. We were laughing because we didn't realize the danger at the time. We were high on black voodoo.
We have knives, the guy riding shotgun said, and he grinned at us with teeth that had brown moss growing in the bones. Big fucking deal, said Susan. Say do I. And she whipped out a buck knife that was the size of my miniskirt. The driver casually leaned over and produced a shotgun and Sue threw the knife out the window.
Eventually, they drove us to some small rural house somewhere in the area of Elkton. There was a woman with a small child doing the laundry.
She was wearing blue jean cutoffs and a t-shirt that said Marlboro Country on it. She looked 45, but she was probably 20.
A hillbilly house that I have never seen before, except in pictures of Appalachia, maybe. It was in the woods. Mink and I were on the edges, so we jumped out. Cookie was in the middle, and they drove off before she could get out.
Mink and Susan got out, but Mossy Teeth and Elle grabbed my thigh and held me fast. Merle spun the car around, and we took off, making corn dirt dust in the faces of everyone who was standing there in front of the house. I began to feel the mood change. As they were talking to each other, I noticed that they had sounded scared. Elle even wanted to get out and go home. After a lot of fighting, Merle finally did let Elle go. I have always been an acute observer of sexy women and unsexy women. And in all my years, I've never seen a crazy woman get chased by a man. Look at bag ladies on the streets. They rarely get raped or surmised. And look at burned out LSD girls. No men bother with them much. So I decided that I would simply act crazy. I would turn the tables. I would scare her. I started making the sounds of a tape recorder words running backwards at high speed. This shocked him a bit, but he kept driving further into the woods as the sun was setting and the trees were closing in. What the fuck are you supposed to be doing, he asked me nervously. Are you a maniac or something? I just escaped from a mental hospital, I told him, and continued with the backward tape sounds, now sounding like an alien UFO chatter. I think he was believing me. Anyway, he pulled off into the bushes and unzipped his pants and pulled out his pitifully limp wiener. He tried to get it hard. For a second, I saw him debating about whether or not he should force me to give him a blowjob. You devil woman, you'd bite off my dick, wouldn't you? He tried to force his semi-hard peewee rod into me as he ripped my tights at the crotch. I just continued with the sounds of the backwards tape as he fumbled with his loafing meat. This infuriated him. I'm going to ask Jesus to help me on this one. Come on, sweet Jesus. Have to get a hard on. Come on. He was very serious.
Susan and I got the woman to call the sheriff. He came out and got us and took us to the station. Susan was drunk and passed out. She had tattoos on her belly, and her shirt would ride up, and well, they just thought we were trash. We were beatniks, we were hitchhiking, and we deserved what we got. There was absolutely no sympathy. So Susan and I stayed in the sheriff's office for a while, and during this time there was a jailbreak. I remember there was this one really fat guy walking around in his Bermuda shorts. He had a 2-gun holster and was yelling, leg irons, next time we'll put him in leg irons.
Not waiting to see whose side the Lord was on, I pushed his wiener quickly aside and threw open the door and dove out into the darkness. I ran faster than I had ever run, and I wasn't a bad runner. As my eyes grew accustomed to the half-moon light, I saw that I was running deep into the woods. Aggressive brambles grabbed at my tights. Poison ivy licked at my ankles, and yearling trees slapped me in the face. After a long time, I decided to stop running, so I got under a bush next to a pile of rocks. I felt a bunch of furry things scuttle away, rats or possums or raccoons, I guess. I lay there for a while, trying to see things in the darkness, and then I heard his voice. He was far in the distance yelling, "Girl! Girl, where in the hell are you?" Did he really think I was going to answer? As he got a little closer, I saw that he had a flashlight, and I got scared again. If his light found me, there would be no hope. My white skin was very bright in the bluish flood of the half-moon. I had a black velvet jacket on with a black lining. So, I ripped out the lining in 2 pieces and wrapped one around my head and the other around my almost bare legs. Those brambles had shredded my stockings. No light will bounce off me now. I was awake for a long time, and then I just fell asleep, sure that he had given up the search. At sunrise, or thereabout, I woke up. I didn't even have a hangover. I felt very proud that I had melted so well into the underbrush, just like Bambi. Without too much trouble, I found this little dirt road, and I started walking to the right. Oh well, all roads lead to Rome, I told myself.